President Donald Trump has now put out a fresh statement slamming both India and Russia amidst his 25% tariff imposition against India. He has now stated, and I'm quoting, you can see the post on your screens, viewers. He stated that I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their quote-unquote dead economies down together for all I care. We have done very little business with India. Their tariffs are too high and amongst the highest in the world. Likewise, Russia and the USA do almost no business together. Let's keep it that way. And tell Medvedev, that the failed former president of Russia, who still thinks he's the president, to watch his words. He's entering very dangerous territory. Dr. Kohli is still with us on the broadcast. Another rant by Donald Trump on Truth Social. This is the latest that he's put forth. He is very openly now called India a dead economy, which is ironic because we are the fastest growing economy.
Yeah, that's very undiplomatic, I would say. Not a kind of language a diplomat of that level should be using, calling India as a dead economy. It is the fourth largest economy today, growing at 6.5%. All our economic parameters are very. I think he's just venting out his frustration because of India's closeness to Russia. And here I must mention very important aspect, Pia, which I think would be very useful for the viewers to listen to. Between January and July, US has imported $2 billion of goods from Russia. I think not many people know about this. And this is also exported, by the way, $200 or $300 million of goods to Russia. Now, these are the goods, I'm told, for which US could not find an alternate supplier, could not find a supply chain. One of them, for example, was fertilizers. It could not find those category of fertilizers and imported it from Russia. Now, I call this double standards. And, you know, when he says, I don't care, we don't do very large business with India, fine. I mean, if that is the kind of rant he's getting into, I'm sure government of India will give a fitting reply. This new Indian government for the last 11 years knows how to deal with these kind of situations. So I'm not at all worried. I think President Trump is demeaning his own statements. He's demeaning his own image. Even people in America, he's forgotten that not just in White House, Priya, but also in America, some of the vital positions, including some large companies, are held by Indians. So he's going to attract the adverse attention of those people. And I'm sure he's going to get that advice from his people that, look, you cannot issue these kind of statements that India is a dead economy. I take a very strong exception to this statement because the whole world knows that India is not a dead economy. So when you're calling a living being as dead, you know, you are probably demeaning yourself. You're doing more harm to yourself than to that person. I think President Trump must, I hope that some pragmatism, some prudence prevails over him. And he gives statement which makes sense. Putting India and Russia in the same block just because he's got his issues to settle with Russia and the double standards with Russia. Why did America import $2 billion of goods from Russia between January and July on a selective basis? I think people who live in glass houses, I'm sorry to say that, Priya, should not be throwing stones at others. Sooner President Trump understands, the better it would be. I completely condemn these kind of remarks about India from the bottom of my heart as a true Indian.